that you have gotten yourself into maybe over a lifetime. And so here we are kind of like we're drawing a conclusion to the year and a conclusion to this month. So I invite you to tap into that as you move and as you breathe, just inquiring like what is holding me back from reaching my full potential? Is there anything that I can melt away, that I can let go of right here in this space? Okay. Let's start on our backs. Bringing our feet together, knees apart. Supta Baddha Konasana. And then with your elbows by your side, press into your elbows to lift your shoulder blades up, pulling the shoulder blades closer in together. And for today, rest both hands on your low belly, right around your hips. And scoot your feet a little bit further away from your hips, just to give more space for your body to open up here, to drop in. And we'll take 3 cleansing breaths together. So big breath in through the nose. Part the lips and sigh it out. Do that again. Big breath in, filling from belly all the way up to the chest. Hold. And then let it go. Big breath out. One more full inhale. And exhale. You can keep the legs as they are. You might extend the legs if that would feel a little more gentle on your hips and your knees. Take a moment to ground down into this space, into this moment, connecting your mind with your body. And mentally say to yourself, there's nowhere else I need to be. There's nothing else I need to be doing other than breathing and finding my state of peace. This is it, this moment. I invite you to bring your feet to the ground, knees are bent, and your feet are going to be super wide on your mat. You start to windshield wiper your knees side to side. Each time you shift sides, see about guiding your top knee towards the ground. And move slow. Inhaling to lift up, finding that pause at the top of the inhale. And then exhaling to drop to one side. Next time you get to the right side, stay there. Let your knees get heavy and lift your head up for a moment just to see that your left knee is in line with your navel. If not, walk your left foot out to the side a little bit more. And then drop your head back and just relax. Feel that subtle stretch around your hip flexor. And if you'd like a deeper stretch, you can bring the outside of your right foot on the top of the left leg, using that weight to deepen the stretch. As always, if you chose that option and it doesn't really feel as good as you thought it might, then just release. Take 2 more big breaths into this space. Letting that breath rise from bottom all the way up to the top. Maybe this time up to your throat or even up to the crown of your head.
Inhale slowly back to center. And over to the left side. I invite you to just keep your hands resting on your belly, feeling your breath rise and fall. Or if you have a tendency for your mind to wander, especially common around the time of the new moon, you can always come back to just noticing and feeling your breath. Maybe even counting each cycle of breath. Just as a way to keep your mind focused on something. In particular, focusing on your experience. Rather than getting lost in thought, lost in what ifs or what could have been or should be. We use this practice to teach us how to stay right here, right where we are. 2 more full cycles of breath. Beautiful. Come back to the center. And start to extend your legs and extend your arms up along your ears. We're going to find banana pose. Reaching your legs and your arms towards the left side. Bringing your right ankle over your left. And you can just let your arms hang out. Your hands can be heavy. Or if you'd like to be a little bit more active and find a deeper stretch, you can bring your left hand to your right wrist. And try to let that right shoulder sink towards the earth. You might even let your head drop to the left side. I'm gonna dim the lights a little bit. Would that be okay? Okay. Never mind. Bring your awareness to your right side. Feeling your lungs and ribs expand as you breathe in. And then pull in back to center as you breathe out. Each breath cycle creating more space for the lungs. Opening up the tissue that surrounds the ribs. Retraining your body how to breathe fully, how to be fully. One more breath on the side. Slowly make your way back to center. And in your own time, over to the other side. That left ankle can come over the right. And once you get settled, maybe with that right hand on the left wrist, invite your left shoulder to get heavy. Invite your hips to get heavy. Invite your feet to get heavy. Heavy your head. Maybe dropping it to the right side, feeling a subtle stretch around the left side of your neck. Allow your teeth and lips to part, softening the muscles around your jaw. Allow the muscles around your eyes and forehead to soften.
One more full breath. Good. Very slowly come back to center.
We'll find star pose, spreading your arms wide, spreading your legs. And speak active for a moment. Spread your fingers, spread your toes. You might even arch your back a little bit by pressing into your hips and your shoulders, lifting the belly and the ribs up. Take a big breath in. And your exhale, sigh it out, melt your body down, soften. Next inhale, we'll hug our knees and towards our chest. And let them drop out towards your armpits. Find a sway side to side. Feeling that nice massage along your spine. And start to draw some circles with the feet. Getting around the ankles. Circle in the other direction. And then we'll find happy baby, hands on the outside of the feet. And if that feels like too much strain on the IT band and the low back, just bring your hands to your hamstrings. All we're looking to do is just open through the hips, open through the low back. And continue to sway side to side. You might find stillness and think about reaching your low back or pressing your low back into the ground. Lengthen through the spine. Start to tuck your chin in towards your chest, just enough to lengthen the back of the neck so the head stays on the mat. Inhale. Part the lips and sigh it out. We'll release the left leg, your left leg down your mat. Clasp your hands behind your right leg. And then start to bend and straighten that right knee. So bending completely. And then as you straighten the leg, actively press through your heel like you're going to lift the ceiling up. I invite you to find a soft gaze. If your eyes aren't closed, you might just see what it feels like to close your eyes and turn your gaze inward. Next time your knee is straight, stay there. Flexing that foot and pressing your hamstring into your clasped hands. It's going to encourage your right hip to shift forward slightly. Should feel it, of course, in your hamstring, but also in your IT band. So right along the outside of your the back of your right thigh. You have the option to draw some circles with that foot again. And then we're going to open our leg to the right side. You can either take your hand to the inside of the thigh or to the inside of the foot if it's an easy reach. Bring your left hand to your left hip, encouraging that left hip to stay rooted. You might also, if you have your hand to the inside of the knee, you might see what it feels like to bend the knee. It might be a little bit more relaxing for you. We'll just take 3 breaths here. Inhale back to center. We're going to do something fun. So we found our happy baby. invite you to find your half happy baby just with one leg. You can keep your leg right here with your hand on the outside of your foot. Or you can see, we've opened our hamstrings a little bit, we've opened our hips. You can see about wrapping your right arm around the back of your leg. And then with that bind, bringing your hand to the outside of your foot. Yeah. And then wherever you are, let your shoulders and your head relax. Would you like a pillow under your head, Marianne? Okay. And then if you chose that option, and again, if you find that it doesn't actually feel very restorative, then go to the other option. Been loving this one lately, this little sequence. It's been really helping me to find some more depth in my other postures just by opening up through that IT band. Mainly, I find that this one does. 2 more big breaths. Might even see about lengthening your breaths. Be counting in for 5, holding for 5. Out for 5. Holding for 5. Using your breath to drop deeper and deeper into your body. Good. Start to bring that right leg back to center, and then we'll cross it over our body. Bring your left hand to the outside of that right leg. You can keep your left leg extended, or you can see about pulling the left knee up. That'd be a more gentle twist. We'll determine what kind of energy you need. Allowing your knees to get heavy towards the left. Simultaneously, let that right shoulder get heavy. Twists are so good for digestion, for our metabolism, and because of that, for our immunity. And then on an energetic level, twists can help us to rinse our whole being, all layers that we have within us, just rinse clean of those things that we no longer need to carry. You might come back to that question of, what am I holding on to that is no longer necessary? What am I keeping in my body and in my mind that's making me small? It's holding me back from reaching my potential. Is there any way that I can shed some of that right now? Right here. Inhale. Exhale to the side. Inhale back to center. And let that right leg extend down your mat. Just finding a momentary shavasana, letting your feet relax. Calves, your thighs, your glutes. See if you notice a difference between either side. Right leg might feel a little bit longer. If you were standing, you might notice that you were more balanced in that right side. Having released that leg from your hip socket. Find all that on the other side. Come into your full happy baby once again. And this time, bring your peace fingers to your big toes. Extend your legs in a straddle. At the same time, pressing your low back into the ground. And come back to center, and we extend that right leg along the mat, clasping your hands behind the left leg. And then again, we bend and straighten that left knee. Moving slowly so that you can feel all the little spaces around your knee that are being opened, that are being hydrated in this movement. Keeping our joints lubricated. Necessary as we age. It's necessary as the weather gets cooler. Next time that knee is straight, stay there, pressing through the heel, pressing your hamstring into your clasped hands. And you have the option to circle your foot. You're choosing that option. Notice where the sensations change from your ankle down to your calves and your calf and shin. Even down to maybe even your hamstring, IT band and quad. Inhale. And on the exhale, we drop that left foot out to the side. Again, you can bend your knee if you'd like, or you can bring your hand to the inside of the foot. Encouraging that right hip to stay heavy by placing your right hand on top. Breathe into your belly. How big can your belly get as you breathe in? Creating more and more space with each inhale. And then letting go just as fully with each exhale. Take one more round of breath. And inhale, we come back to center and we find that half happy baby. We're starting with your hand on the outside of the foot, dropping your knee to your armpit. I'm always a lot tighter on this side, so sometimes I can do the wrap and sometimes it doesn't serve me. So you just try it out and see. I usually like to lift my head and shoulder first to find that space, that wrap, the left arm behind the leg, and then relax the head and shoulders back. Just check it out. You might just need to be here for a few breaths in order to find the opening that your body needs, or maybe it's not for you. Ultimately, you're the only one that can know that answer. Stay or do you get out? Sometimes these postures and life experiences, it just takes a little time, takes a little patience to sit with it for a moment. Allow ourselves to acclimate to the change. Just one more breath. And then we'll cross that leg, cross your body. And deciding what feels best for that right knee to stay extended, or maybe for the knee to pull up and support that top knee. Allowing the left shoulder to heavy. Letting gravity be on your side. And if you do, when you do, let go of X, Y, and Z, it's no longer serving you. What would you be creating space for? What types of energy could you welcome in? What types of experiences could you have? What type of relationships could you have? If you allow those things, those thoughts, those patterns that no longer serve you to leave you. If something comes up, you might just see it, acknowledge it, say hello. You might gently guide it in your mind's eye to walk away. Verbalizing mentally, I no longer need you. You can leave me now. Thank you. Take a breath in. Sigh it out. Inhale back to center. Once again, extending both legs long and just softening through your whole body. Your feet all the way up to the crown of your head. Very, very gently. And I invite you to turn over to your belly. So you can face the back of the room. So you're just turning around. And just listen to my cueing. We'll just lift up into a baby's feet. Put the elbows slightly in front of the shoulder. Pressing into the palms and the forearms. Option to drop your chin to your chest and draw half circles with your head. Staying through the neck. Might pause in one space and send a few breaths there. Encouraging your neck and shoulders to release all the weight that they hold. You can go now. I no longer need you. If you found a stretch on one side, I encourage you to go to the other side. Chin comes back to the chest. Let your shoulders get heavy. Let them rise up to your ears. So just sinking down, keeping onto your forearms and your hands though. Just a more relaxing version. As you breathe in, allow your belly to press into your mouth. As you breathe out, notice as your belly comes back towards your spine. Do that again. Breathe in. Exhale, breathe out, let everything go. Come into crocodile pose, resting your hands on your head on stacked palms. Sway your hips side to side. And your right arm into a half T so that your hand comes in line with your shoulder. We're gonna open up through the front of your shoulder. Just by shifting your weight over to the right hip, stacking your left knee on top of your right. And take your left hand into a fist and support the right side of your head. And then if you want to open up deeper, you can bring the sole of your left foot on the ground, left knee pointing out. And if you want more, you can wrap your left arm around your back, maybe bringing it in between your shoulder blades. Come back to those long breaths. 2 more rounds. We'll be counting to 4 or 5, holding. And breathing out. Square breathing is so good for our nervous system. Another practice that teaches our body how to breathe fully. Our lungs, how to expand and contract, and just the way that they were made to do. Your next exhale, slowly release out, resting on your belly with one cheek to the mat, hands by your side. Letting your shoulders melt down towards the earth. Sinking in. This is it. This moment. This breath. Connecting your mind, body, and spirit. When you're ready, we'll make our way to the other side. Extending that left arm. The hand is face down, in line with the shoulder. And then starting to stack your right hip over left. Maybe the knees bend. Or maybe the sole of the right foot comes on the ground and that right knee lifts up. And again, you might support the head by bringing your hand into a fist. I like that option. I just find that it feels more gentle on the neck. Breathing in for 5. Holding for 5. Out for 5. Hold for 5. This time in for 6. Hold 6. Out 6. Hold for 6. Do that on your own. 2 more rounds. Each breath cycle, another opportunity to open up a little more fully. Not of forcing, but in allowing your body to drop into what time has created space for. Another 2 rounds of breath, and you might wrap that top arm around your low back. Guiding the hand in between your shoulder blades. On your exhale, back to center. Palms by your side. Place your opposite cheek to the mat. Settle in. Fill up with breath. Let it go. And it's time for Shavasana. You are welcome to stay here on your belly. You might see about, maybe it might feel good to take Shavasana on one side in like a fetal position. Or maybe you want a traditional Shavasana on your back with your legs extended and arms by your side. Once y'all get settled, start a little sound healing with the wind chimes and the singing bowl. Drop in together with a big breath in and hold it at the top. Sip in a little bit more air. And let it go with a sigh. Let your body just melt down heavier and heavier with each cycle of breath. Imagining that the earth is asking you to give her what you no longer need, what no longer serves you. Just drop it down so that she can then turn that waste into something beautiful, into something that can be used. It's no longer for you. Doesn't mean that it didn't once serve you. Shavasana.
Breathe in. Breathe out. Again. Biggest breath of your day. Noticing how the more that you notice your breath, the more that you notice your life, your state of connection, your state of presence, your state of peace. Some gentle movement, allowing your body to wake up. Actually rolling over to one side. Fetal pose. Supporting your head with your arm, pulling your knees up to your chest. Gently press yourself up to a seat, palms together, heart center. For today, I invite you to gently open your eyes, a very soft gaze, and look at your hands. So pull your hands out a little bit and let your knuckles release from each other. So it's just the tops of your palms and your fingertips together. And so you're almost drawing like a little oval with your hands. Imagine that this is you. This is you, all the layers within you and your world. See it for what it is. And then imagine if there was a little bit more space in this world of yours, your body and your mind, your spirit. What could it look like? What might it look like if you weren't holding on to so much that you actually don't need? Those tangible things and those internal things. Breathe it in. What could your life look like? Relationships, your work life, your home life, your state of wellness. What could it feel like? Trust that because you can see it, because you can feel it, it's already there, part of your reality. Palms come together, heart center. They rest at your third eye. The love, the light, and the peace in me sees and honors the love and light and peace in both of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Namaste.